Before us lies the Pacific, endless, vast, and unbroken. 21 days of ocean carrying us from one side of the world to the other. Out here, there are no shortcuts, only time, distance, and patience. The horizon never changes, yet every day brings its own story. From prayers to the sea god to routines that keep us safe, from long hours of duty to small victories that make us proud. And amidst the work, there are moments of laughter, of connection, of birthdays that pass quietly yet mean so much. Time itself bends on this voyage, clocks advancing, days repeating as we cross the international date line, the ocean reminding us that it plays by its own rules. This is life across the Pacific, a journey measured not in miles, but in days, memories, and stories that stay with us long after the voyage ends. Hey everyone, welcome back. We are now deep into our Pacific crossing. It's going to take us 21 days to get across. Today, I want to take you along as I do one of my routine but really important jobs as second officer, checking all the eye wash stations around the ship. These are life-saving in case of chemical accidents, and I'll show you how we make sure everything is up to date and ready. Out here, it's just blue in every direction. No land for weeks. The ocean is beautiful, but it also reminds us how important safety is on board. If something goes wrong, we can't just call for help. We have to rely on ourselves and our equipment. First stop is the paint store. This place is stacked with paints, thinners, safety gear, and also one of the eye wash stations. Good news, this one is brand new and well within date. That's exactly what I want to see. Next, we are in the emergency generator room. This big guy is what keeps the ship alive in case of a total blackout. Of course, it won't power everything, but enough to run the emergency lights, alarms, and essential systems. Of course, my mission here is not the generator, but the eye wash station. This one's all good too, nothing expired. On my way down, I notice another ship sailing almost alongside us. They are also heading towards Mexico, but while their voyage ends there, ours continues further south, all the way to Colombia. Two ships, same sea, but different journeys. Now we head to the heart of the ship, the engine room. I always carry extra eye wash bottles with me, so if I find any expired ones, I can replace them immediately. That's just smart work, saves time and effort. Here in the chemical room, the workshop, the suit blowing station, and the ECR, I replace the bottles where needed. Some stations are harder to find, so I ask the second engineer for help. With his guidance, we make sure every spot is covered. And here's something that makes the engine room a little less serious. Just like my last ship, someone's painted the boilers into minions. These small touches always make me smile. They break the monotony of long voyages. That wraps up today's rounds. It might look like a small job, but keeping these stations in order can save lives in an emergency. Out here, weeks away from land, safety is everything. This is just one day in our 21-day Pacific crossing, and there's a lot more ahead. Another day during this long Pacific crossing, I finally wrap up something I have been working on for 3 days straight, the hospital inventory. It might sound simple, but going through every single medicine, checking dates, and updating the records is a massive job. I am honestly proud of myself for finishing it in just 3 days. That's a small achievement, but out here, these small victories do matter. Now comes the part that feels a little more final, taking out all the expired medicines. They can't stay in the hospital, so the next step is to crush them and hand them over to the second engineer for incineration. Watching those expired packs being destroyed is a reminder of how strict and precise we have to be with safety on board. Nothing can be left to chance. Morning begins like any other here in the middle of the Pacific. I wake up, get ready, and head to the bridge with a smile. Something inside me quietly reminding me that today is special, because today happens to be my birthday. Out here, though, birthdays are different. There are no parties, no celebrations, no one waiting with a cake. In fact, most people don't even know unless they check the crew list. And honestly, everyone's too busy to do that. The only one who did was our third officer, Erwin. Since it's his job to maintain the crew list, he had particularly noticed it and wished me in advance. Apart from him, for everyone else, it's just another working day like any other. And that's the life on board. You can't really go to your boss and say, "Hey, it's my birthday, let me take the day off." You still get your job list and you just get on with it. But amidst all this, I still feel connected to home. I pull out my phone for a short break, scrolling through messages, and there they are. Wishes pouring in from family and friends, especially the ones that matter the most. It's a quiet reminder that even though I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, people back home are thinking of me. Those messages become my celebration, simple but special. The morning passes with regular rounds, a bit of paperwork, the usual bridge routine. But in the evening, I get assigned a job, but that actually makes me smile, stenciling. It's been a while since I last did it, and I've always enjoyed it. It's one of those jobs where I can put in precision, creativity, and a bit of personal touch. So I grab my gear, set things up, and start working the stencils. It feels satisfying, almost calming, watching the neat letters and marks come to life on steel. On a day like today, it feels like my own way of celebrating, quietly in my style, doing something I genuinely enjoy. No cake, no candles, no singing, just me, the ocean, a few heartfelt wishes from home, and a job I love doing. And honestly, that's enough. Every night on this crossing, there is one small but important ritual, advancing the ship's clocks. When we left Korea, we were on GMT plus 9, and by the time we reach Colombia, we need to be on GMT minus 5. That's a total of 10 hours difference, and instead of changing it all at once, we spread it gradually across the voyage. So almost every other night, we advance the clocks by an hour. It sounds simple, but when you're living at sea, that 1 hour means shorter rest, shorter watch, and your whole body slowly adjusting to a new rhythm. And then comes the interesting part, the international date line. Out here in the middle of the Pacific, there's an imaginary line that decides where one day ends and the next begins. The moment we cross it while heading east to west, we don't just change the clock, we actually repeat a whole day. So if today is 15th, tomorrow is also 15. One extra day in the logbook, one extra day in the voyage, but still the same sun, the same sea. It's one of those unique quirks of sailing that always fascinates me, playing with time itself as we move across the ocean. And just like that, after 21 days across the Pacific, land finally comes into view. Colombia, the long stretch of open ocean is behind us, and now the port awaits. Helmet on, heading out of the accommodation and straight to my station. Even after a long crossing, the routines never change. Lines prepared, heaving lines ready, shackles checked, and the bits waiting to take the load. The heaving line flies, the first rope connects us to the shore, and then the heavy mooring lines follow. Slowly, the ship is pulled alongside. Deck crew working with precision, every rope in place, every order carried out. There's a quiet satisfaction in this moment, not just in making the ship fast, but in knowing that another voyage is safely behind us.
Copy forward, sitting port.
The rhythm is the same in every port, whether it's the first of a voyage or the last. For me, it's more than just the physical act of securing the ship. It's the feeling of closing a chapter. 21 days ago, I laid this course across the Pacific on the chart, and today we have sailed it, we have lived it, and we have safely reached our destination. That's a different kind of reward, not just arriving, but arriving exactly as planned. And as if to mark the end, the Pacific gives us a farewell of its own. Rain pouring down over the decks, heavy and relentless, as if reminding us that no voyage ends without the sea leaving its mark. From Korea to Colombia, 21 days carried us not just across an ocean, but across time itself. Clocks advanced, days repeated, routines carried out, and moments lived. That's life at sea. Work, waiting wonder, and always the horizon calling. This was our crossing of the Pacific. See you in the next voyage. Until then, stay safe, stay blessed.